absolute certainty. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. Volatility is part of investing, and if that's a roller coaster ride you're just not interested in taking anymore, it's time to consider protecting a minimum of 25% of your hard earned retirement dollars. 888 today. If you're 10 to 50 from retirement, have retirement is doing cartwheels. Call Chapelwood Financial Services at 888-838-3482 to discover how you can have that balanced plan. Protection of a portion of your assets is the foundation of your retirement plan. Don't lose another minute of sleep worrying about the next market correction. Contact Chapelwood Financial at 888-838-3482 or email office@chapelwood.com. That's two P's and one L to ask how you can protect your money today. That's 888-838-3482.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-600-0738. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-0738. That's 1-800-600-0738. 1-800-600-0738.
Are you ready for the vacation of a lifetime? Then get on board for the Storyteller Cruise with 660 AM, The Answer. Join us October 23rd through the 30th with Matthew West. Along with pastor and Bible teacher Greg Laurie.
The highest calling of God is what God has called you to be. There is no higher thing. We're all called to do something.
Selah. Mr. Talkbox, and more. You and your family will travel aboard Holland America's New Amsterdam as we travel to Grand Turks, San Juan, St. Martin, and more. Best of all, enjoy music and inspiration from Matthew West and Pastor Greg Laurie. Space is very limited. Get details now at 660amtheanswer.com. We'll see you on the Storyteller Cruise from 660 AM, The Answer.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. The President of the United States is not going to trust his own lying eyes, it seems. Here's a man who is connected to the greatest information gathering capability in the history of the human endeavor, and for whatever reason, cannot see that as far as the actual war among civilians and terrorists, the terrorists are flipping winning. Anybody who says this president is naked is immediately admonished with the fact that you are just missing some of the most beautiful presidential wardrobe in the history of this country. You ignoramus. The president has no clothes. The clothes of credibility have been stripped from him by his own hand. That anybody would believe otherwise plays along with the sophistry, plays along with the farce. This is turning into a joke. Tell me I'm wrong. Explain it to me. I am asking you to join us and tell me why I'm wrong. The president looks at a terror attack, another terror attack, fresh off the terror attack in Orlando, and says, well, you know, they're on the run. Yeah, that's right. They're on the run. They're going to lose. When is that going to happen? Good to know. Believe you even, they're going to lose. But they're not losing right now. They're killing the innocents that you seem to just dispatch with, well, they're only killing innocents. They're just killing civilians right now. I mean, they're really not accomplishing anything except destroying the lives of families and children and wives and husbands. That's all they're doing. It's really not making any difference. I mean, as long as they're not really seriously, attacking heads of state and stuff. I mean, that would be the problem there. These other people, I mean, really, nobody's going to miss us. I mean, think about it now. Can you name 10 people who died in the 9/11 attacks? Neither can I. See? I don't understand why people aren't making this connection. That this guy is dangerously disconnected from the reality right in front of his face. Now, he may be doing it for political effect. But what is the difference between a complete nincompoop who's lost it and can't see the reality and someone who is completely in charge of his faculties and refuses to acknowledge the reality? What is the effect? What's the effective difference? The answer is nothing. There is no effective difference, except, of course, that the evil that terrorists are shown can only be at least partially matched by the evil of a man who knows full well what's going on, yet denies it for the sake of politics. I told you and told you and told you that these people think politics first. There's an attack on a diplomatic mission in Benghazi, Libya. There is an American ambassador there, along with 2 ex-SEALs that are doing security, and Sean Smith, who works with Chris Stevens. Those guys are under attack right then. They're having an emergency meeting. The first 5 items talk about how they're going to deal with the diplomatic implications of bringing people in to rescue those people. It took them 2.5 hours. And the New York Times said today, well, there's nothing really new in the Benghazi report. Everything's just fine. Are you high? This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Debbie Georgatis. I hope you'll tune in to my radio show, America Can We Talk, this Sunday, July 3rd. We have a very special show lined up. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West will join us, along with Star Parker, the founder of CURE. We'll talk about what did liberty mean on July 4th in 1776, and what do we do today to protect liberty in America. This is Debbie Georgatis, and America Can We Talk, this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. We talk truth about America.
Are you or someone you know fighting cancer and struggling financially? If so, find out now if you qualify for Life Credit Company's Living Benefit Program. If qualified, you may receive up to 50% of your life insurance policy's death benefit now, while still providing coverage for your family. Cancer patients are nearly 3 times more likely to file bankruptcy than those without the disease. But cancer does not have to mean financial ruin if you qualify for Life Credit Company's Living Benefit Program. Make a 2-minute call now to Life Credit Company and find out if you're eligible to receive up to 50% of your policy's death benefit now, while still preserving coverage for your family. Call 800-981-8700. That's 800-981-8700. 2 minutes is all it takes. Call 800-981-8700. Or learn more online at lifecreditcompany.com. That's lifecreditcompany.com. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, ABACUS, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself going deeper and deeper in credit card debt and you're not sure how to fix the problem? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management is a nonprofit organization that will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment. Put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges and reduce your interest rates by as much as 60%. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. It's not a loan. It's a smart way to relieve your stress, meet your obligations, and preserve your self-respect. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. If you know a veteran who deserves this honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a gift card from Crossroads Diner, a $100 gift card from the Crazy Gun Dealer, and an award from Starkey Mortgage. Plus, come up to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Starkey Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2146. This is not a commitment to lend. Specific underwriting guidelines must be met.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Let me give you some news here. The President of the United States is doing his absolute dead level best, along with noted other Americans, to deny the fact that most terrorism perpetrated on the earth is perpetrated by Muslim Arab men between the ages of 18 and 49. 83% of worldwide terrorism is pulled off by Arab terrorists, Muslims, in fact. 83%. Therefore, what we have to do is we have to say, well, we need to refuse to talk about this issue and indeed alter the history books for the sake of a political imperative. In today's Washington Free Beacon, Adam Credo writes, senior Obama administration officials refused to appear before Congress on Tuesday to explain the recent decision to purge all references to Islamic terrorism and radicalism from public documents, according to disclosures made yesterday on Capitol Hill. Top officials from the Justice Department and the FBI declined to appear on Capitol Hill to answer questions from lawmakers about domestic terror attacks and an administration policy of scrubbing references to Islamic terrorism and similar terms from government materials. The policy has thwarted attempts by federal authorities to stop an increasing series of terror attacks from taking place on United States soil. This, according to Senator Ted Cruz. He is the chair of the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Oversight. In the past year, the Obama administration has twice ordered that mention of the terrorist group ISIS and Islamic terrorism be purged from highly significant public records. This, if this is true, and there's no reason to doubt that it isn't, this is a book-burning cleansing of American history for the sake of politics. One such effort took place in the aftermath of the recent terrorist shooting in Orlando, where the administration censored 911 transcripts of calls made by the shooter. These efforts came amid other campaigns by the Department of Homeland Security to force its personnel to remove references to jihad, Sharia, and other similar terms from material focused on methods to counter violent extremism. Why does this matter? Well, let's talk to the IRS about that. In order for you not to get your 501c3, if you happen to be what was suspected as a conservative organization looking for tax-exempt status, in order for you to not get your 501c3, you had to have one of the words that were on a particular list. For example, Tea Party, Constitution, Freedom, Liberty. What do you suppose is going to be made more difficult when you start doing searches for attacks in the United States? Remember, this is the administration that famously dictated that a terror attack on the grounds of Fort Hood, where a full-on Muslim terrorist killed 13 American soldiers, this administration called it workplace violence. Was that a terror attack? Yes. Was it workplace violence? Okay, yeah, but it was a terrorist attack. 20 years from now, when they go through and they say terror attacks on the grounds of the United States, is the Fort Hood shooting going to show up? Probably not. You know why? Because it was workplace violence according to the Obama administration. These people are violating the very search topics, the very search engines that they used to quash, oppress opposition political speech in the United States by virtue of using the IRS for it. They are doing the exact same thing in reverse in order to make it impossible for people to go back during the Obama years and search the records for terror attacks while this man was the president. So instead of actually being very good at anti-terror, very good at counter-terrorist work, as was apparent in the Obama administration, the Bush administration, they did not have a terror attack until President Obama took over and started saying, you know, we've got to start talking to these people. Crazily enough, they didn't want to talk. They wanted to shoot and stab and behead and burn and drown. They didn't want to talk. This was the president who said, you know, just let me talk to him. I'll work this out. Yeah. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to simply remove the search topics that people will use to determine whether or not the president was successful in his counterterrorism efforts. This is a cynical abuse of the American people, not just from a standpoint of it ought to be illegal. I don't know why this isn't censoring the actual public record of the United States. Why isn't this nothing more than bald-faced book-burning censorship? Why? Cheryl in Mesquite, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Thank you so much. I would just like to remind your listening audience of something very frightening. I think the Muslim, whoever prophesied this over America, that there would be an Islamic flag flying over the White House. I believe Obama was put here for this very reason, for all of the agendas to come to this, to literally try to destroy America's background, her history, and everything. And we're just in a mess. We're in a terrible place right now.
Yeah, we really are, and we're not doing anything about it. We are not demanding that this effort stop. I would like nothing more than to speak with a government official about these bizarre decisions and omissions, especially in light of the most recent terror attacks in Orlando by a radicalized man who had been interviewed 3 times by the FBI, said Senator Cruz. Indeed, this subcommittee invited 2 such witnesses. John Carlin, an assistant attorney general for the Department of Justice's National Security Division, and Michael B. Steinbach, the executive assistant director for the FBI's National Security Branch. Both have refused to appear. Stonewall, delay, censor the public record. This isn't American. This isn't American. This is Politburo. Let's alter the history books so we don't look stupid. Ism. It's flipping anti-stupidism, and just like that, the lie becomes real. The misdirection becomes the truth. And we, the people of the United States, are being forced into a situation where we can be killed, because you know what else is a part of this? You know what else is a part of this? The Wall Street Journal, Islamic State kill lists grow in length and target ordinary Americans. You know, the innocents, the civilians the president talks about. Islamic State has been distributing increasingly long kill lists of ordinary Americans, purportedly encouraging its followers to target those individuals only if they're white, because if they're not white, then the White House will turn it into a hate crime instead of a terror attack. A list distributed late last month contained the names of more than 2,000 New Yorkers. Another list contained the names of 1,500 Texans. None of the people had known connections to the government or to issues that the terror groups care about, according to counterterrorism officials. Are you on that list? Am I on that list? We don't know. You know why we don't know? Because we can't find out. Because if we actually were on the list, and the FBI didn't tell us that we were on the list, and we got killed by a terrorist, it would probably be a traffic accident, or it was an intersection of a 9mm car and a 1958 skull bone. It's a little known car. It's a little known automobile that was being driven by John David Wells. Yeah. He had a conversation. He got into a collision with a 9mm spark. It was a traffic accident. That's what it was. Sure. So on one hand, the president is refusing to inform Congress. The administration is refusing to inform Congress of Islamic terrorism in the United States, going through and cleansing the public record of any mention of anything that might lead to the notion that there is an Islamic terror problem in the United States. Meantime, ISIS is generating hit lists for lone wolves. They're generating hit lists with names, 1,500 in Texas. Do you suppose that maybe those 1,500, say, for example, the people that don't have weapons, probably ought to start carrying one? Or should you believe that you should just die like a good American patriot and not hurt anybody because you're not well trained enough to actually own a weapon? Or you should be one of those people that get hassled by the ATF or by the FBI or by the President of the United States or by the Democrat Party, because you really don't need a weapon that's capable of defending yourself against some crazy man with a full auto AK-47. Well, you don't have to worry about that because those are illegal in this country. Yeah, like they're illegal in France. Charlie Hebdo. Yeah. Fortunately, nobody in the Charlie Hebdo offices had stooped to the absolute barbarity of carrying a weapon at work. I mean, how stupid is that? Can you imagine being so stupid as to actually go to work in Irving, Texas wearing a weapon? Nobody's being informed that they are on a kill list from ISIS because we don't want to tell anybody a scary story about the extremists that are motivated by unlikability. We don't want to tell people that there are people that'll just kill you because you're not going to the right church, even though going to the church is stupid. I mean, why'd you want to go to church? I mean, human beings are the absolute top of the food chain from an intellectual standpoint, okay? So if you go to church, you're stupid, but if you go to the wrong church, a terrorist will kill you. Oh. God help whoever it is that has these kill lists. I mean, it's one thing when, say, for example, I don't know, somebody gets killed. It's really a problem when somebody gets killed, by just somebody walking down the street. But when that somebody walking down the street is an avowed ISIS operative who just swore allegiance to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, has been watching you for a few days, pulls out a 9mm as you pass and shoots you in the back of the head, your problems are pretty much solved. You probably didn't even know what happened. But God help whoever it is that has this list. I want to see what they do with Susan. I want to know what they're going to do when my wife Susan shows up and says, he was on this list and you didn't tell anyone he was on this list? Specifically him or me? I'm going to flip and use you up. And you know what? That may be the only way I ever get my name on a federal building in this nation. It's because Susan took ownership of one of those great big buildings in Washington, D.C., because that was the only way the government could pay for their negligence and their stupidity. The President of the United States wants the terror problem in the United States to go away so much. He's expunging the record. He is censoring the public record and telling the FBI not to tell Americans they're on a hit list. Where are you Obama voters now? Well, I heard a lot of cynically smug people calling me on the phone after both elections. Where are you now? You tell me why this is the right thing to do. You tell me why the president's censoring the public record and leaving people hanging out to dry because their name's on a ISIS hit list. You tell me why that's okay. Phone lines are open. I might not even say anything. I just want to listen to you drive yourself right off the road. This is the Wells Report. Some companies just don't want your conservative dollars. Well, actually, they want your dollars, but what they want to do is turn your conservative dollars into liberal ones. Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report. You don't get to do this very often, but this time you get to choose where your money goes. Does it matter to you that companies like Target use your money to promote the left? It bothers me. I've asked Susan not to shop at Target. But Target's not the only company that uses your money against you. Big mobile cell phone companies do the very same thing. Remember former Congressman Allen West? He's former Congressman Allen West because of one of these very same big mobile cell phone companies. We don't have to patronize companies that use our money to undermine our beliefs. That's why it's time for you to move to Patriot Mobile. 5% of every dollar that you spend on your phone bill is immediately donated to causes you and I believe in. Right now, get a Samsung Galaxy S5 or iPhone 5S with unlimited talk, text, and data for only $50 a month. Call Patriot Mobile today, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or check out patriotmobile.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
The anticipation is finally giving way to reality. Here it comes, the 2016 Republican Convention in Cleveland. Hi, I'm John David Wells, and Mark Davis and I want to invite you to the final night convention watch party.
JD, there's only one thing more exciting than the last night of the convention with the acceptance speech, the analysis, the official start of the real campaign, and that's the chance to watch it all with listeners.
This will be just like our debate watching parties at Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. $10 will get you a ticket at 660amtheanswer.com. Come watch the convention's biggest night with your radio friends.
And bring your friends and family. It's live history in the making, so let's enjoy it together. The 2016 Republican Convention Final Night Watch Party, Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. Just $10 for tickets at 660amtheanswer.com.
This event is sponsored by Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and AAA Auger Plumbing Services.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I'll bet you've heard a lot about the money you can save leasing a car versus buying. Well, now there's a way to save even more. Brass Hat Leasing. In car lingo, a brass hat vehicle is a program car, factory demo, extremely low miles, very near showroom condition. Go to brasshatleasing.com. Shop through the inventory, see and drive the car you want at their location near DFW Airport, or just order and take delivery. Brass Hat Leasing, with a wide selection of makes and models, featuring leases and even sales, if you like, of these next to new vehicles, giving you a huge savings opportunity. In fact, here's the Brass Hat Leasing deal of the day.
2016 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Outdoorsman 4x4, $999 down plus TT&L, 15,000 miles per year. Original MSRP $47,220. 36 monthlies only for $388 per month. So much truck for less than $400 per month. See it at brasshatleasing.com.
So close to new, yet so much more affordable. Brasshatleasing.com. 855-998-2202. 855-998-2202 or brasshatleasing.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-1904. That's 1-800-900-1904. 1-800-900-1904.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-600-0738. Call in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-0738. That's 1-800-600-0738. 1-800-600-0738.
660 AM, The Answer. 660amtheanswer.com. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. New York Times. Move along, move along. The Benghazi report thing, it's all over. And, you know, there was nothing new. There was nothing really, well, I mean, probably could have had some armed drones or something like that. Yeah, whatever. But you know, just move along. There's nothing, well, probably should have gone ahead and had those. Well, I don't really care whether they show up naked or not, but to have them change clothes 4 separate times, you know, that may have been a little silly. But I mean, especially when they never actually showed up and did anything. I mean, you know, but at least they changed their clothes. Hey, it could be dangerous, man. You know, you can get a scrape in a bad spot on those zippers. What? Uniforms have buttons? Oh, never mind. Anyway, Yeah, we could have had a couple of armed drones over there, probably. Yeah, we could have killed a few people. Yeah, but normally we only do that when we have Americans abroad, that we can't capture otherwise. I mean, well, like Anwar al-Awlaki. Well, I mean, so we blew him to smithereens and his kid 2 weeks later. We don't know why, but I'm sure there was a good reason. In the meantime, we gave due process to Osama bin Laden's son-in-law, which suddenly we were able to capture, but we can't get an expatriate American in Somalia or Yemen. This is the Obama administration. I have to throw up now. More of the Wells Report next. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboats, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, co-owner of Statewide Remodeling. It's getting to be summer, and the days are getting to be hotter, and your electric bill's getting higher. If you can stand in front of any window in your home with the sun shining through and feel any heat, you have a problem that's costing you money every day. We can fix that problem for you with new restoration windows from Statewide Remodeling. Have you ever noticed that most of the other window companies you hear on the radio are talking about everything but their warranty? They want to brag about how long they've been in business or how low their prices are. I have to tell you that none of that means anything without a strong written warranty to back up the product. We've been installing windows in Texas for over 20 years and the only company with a written workmanship warranty for as long as you own your home. We also offer a satisfaction guarantee or your money back. So if you're ready to get straight talk about replacement windows, give us a call. And if you call now for a free estimate, you'll get up to $2,000 off your whole project. The estimate and window evaluation is free. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095 or anytime online at statewide-remodeling.com.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-300-0338. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day at-home trial. 1-800-300-0338. That's 1-800-300-0338.
660 AM The Answer.
KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth.
The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jay Metzler.
The ayes are 68, the nays are 30.
The Senate approving a bipartisan debt relief bill for Puerto Rico. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew traveled to the Capitol to coax reluctant Democrats into supporting the measure.
My view is that when you have creditors going to court seeking to overturn a Puerto Rico statute in anticipation of not being paid on July 1, you're going into a very dangerous area if you then say, we'll wait till they actually default on constitutional debt.
The House passed the bill last week. President Obama has said he'll sign it. The president bringing down the House. His speech to the Canadian Parliament, members liking what they heard, that a protectionist economy cannot work. The president in Ottawa for the North American Leaders Summit. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime. And most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Built on the values of the free market and the spirit of entrepreneurship, Northwood University prepares future leaders for global free enterprise. Hey, Mark Davis, longtime fan of Northwood. Through Northwood University's experiential learning, students get hands-on experience and practical application. This includes everybody from undergrads in the adult degree program, graduate students in the DeVos Graduate School. Northwood faculty are business professionals, managers, and entrepreneurs within their fields of expertise. Northwood's specialty undergraduate business degrees offer rich experiences in accounting and finance, franchise management, healthcare management, and much more. Graduate programs include a distinctive case study-based MBA program and an online Master of Science program in organizational leadership. You can develop lifelong critical thinking skills, distinguish yourself in your career, drive change in the workplace, make your mark on a global free enterprise society. Earn your degree from Northwood University. Learn more at northwood.edu. That's northwood.edu.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Ask the Expert. We're with Jay Peak, speaker, author, financial educator. Jay, you recently co-authored a book with international writer and business coach Brian Tracy. Can you tell us a little bit more about the book and who it's for?
Yeah, absolutely. I co-authored the book for everybody curious about safe money strategies. And, the book is a great way for our clients to learn more about our philosophies and to see if we're really a good fit for them.
And how can people get this book?
Well, for everybody listening today, they can go to our website at peakfinancialcorporation.com and request a free copy of my national selling book, or they can call us at 844-J-PEAK. That's 844-529.
844, that's 844-JAYPEAK. That's going to do it. Make sure to keep listening for the next episode of Ask the Expert.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. In this campaign year, everything we say and do seems to have a political side, even paying our cell phone bill. If you're in bed with Big Mobile, they're contributing to Hillary, and that means you are too. Join me in switching over to Patriot Mobile, 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com. Same quality of service, better prices, supporting better causes. And look at this, a summer special. The free Samsung Galaxy S5 or a free iPhone 5S, unlimited talk, text, and data for just $50. That's incredible. Patriot Mobile, wonderful people. I love them. Go to patriotmobile.com. And if you switch today at 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, they will send you a free signed copy of my book, Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country. So come on, same quality of service, better prices, supporting better causes. Join the revolution. It's Patriot Mobile, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT to get the free Lone Star America. Learn more at patriotmobile.com, patriotmobile.com, and then give them a call, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word trial to 303030, and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with one of your prime summer needs, a good carpet cleaning. Summer is a busy time, so call Zero Res. Call them often. It's a $33 per room carpet cleaning special, 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN. They'll do the carpets. While they're there, let them do hardwood floors, granite countertops, drapes, upholstery. When they're done cleaning whatever you want, 2 free passes to any of the 5 DFW Hawaiian Falls water parks. It's Zero Res, the best carpet cleaning, and so much more. I use them. You should too. 214-37-CLEAN. clean.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Something that got lost in the shuffle today. Fortunately, I looked through the things that have been shuffled. One of the things that happened today was Huma Abedin was deposed by Judicial Watch regarding Hillary Clinton's private email server. And from what we understand, it was a pretty bad day for Hillary Clinton. Longtime Hillary Clinton aide, according to AP. Longtime Hillary Clinton aide Huma Abedin said in a legal proceeding, Clinton did not want the State Department emails she sent and received to be accessible to anyone. Her comments provided new insights into the highly unusual decision by the presumptive Democrat presidential candidate to operate a private email server in her basement to conduct government business as Secretary of State. Smoking gun number 7 was an email that says, "We have to figure out who's taking care of my emails at State. I don't want anybody seeing any of my private emails." If you don't want anyone seeing your private emails, then what you do is you have a private email system that is independent of government email systems. You do the government business on the government system, and you do the private email business on the private system. Okay? That's the way you do it. But that's not the way Clinton did it. Why? Why is it that Hillary Clinton wanted all that information, classified and otherwise, to be available on that server? Her comments provided new insights. She said under oath she was not aware whether Clinton personally deleted any emails during her tenure as secretary. We know somebody did it. Abedin told lawyers for the conservative group Judicial Watch in a deposition yesterday, or day before yesterday, it says Monday. I reported yesterday on this broadcast that deposition was today. Maybe they got that wrong. Anyway, Abedin could not recall whether she or Clinton discussed with any State Department officials Clinton's use of her server exclusively for government business. The State Department knows what happened. They said that Secretary Clinton never discussed it with anybody. She had no permissions. She had no go-aheads. She had no nothing. The only thing she had was one of the Kennedy people, one of the Kennedy family, saying, "Don't anybody ever talk about this." Oh, okay. She could not recall whether she or Clinton discussed with any State Department officials Clinton's use of her server exclusively for government business. Abedin was Clinton's deputy chief of staff at the State Department. She now works with the Clinton's presidential campaign and often travels with the candidate. Abedin used an email account on Clinton's server occasionally for government business, although Abedin also used a government address. I assumed it was okay to do. Why would you assume that, Ms. Abedin, insofar as you had gone through the same classes, same mandatory circumstances, same security clearance protocols, et cetera, that told you plainly that using a private email system to put government business on was absolutely strictly against the law? Why would you then assume it was okay to do? Abedin is one of several former State Department officials who are being deposed by the conservative group Judicial Watch in a civil lawsuit over the agency's failure to turn over files under a Freedom of Information Act. A transcript of the proceeding was released by Judicial Watch today. The lawyers for Judicial Watch repeatedly pressed Abedin to explain the Clintons' concern expressed in her November 2010 message that her emails might become public. But the longtime aide insisted that Clinton's interest in wanting to keep her correspondence from being exposed was similar to any private citizens. Problem with it is, when you're the Secretary of State, you're not a private citizen. You're the Secretary of State of the United States. I would imagine anybody who has personal email doesn't want that email to be read by anybody else. I read it the same way as she had written it. Sorry, Ms. Abedin, once again, the Secretary of State does not have private email mixed with government email on a private server. It's not done, period. Unless there was a reason. Why would you want to commingle all that email? Why would you want to do that? Out of sight of government regulators. Then when somebody finally pointed out that you had a server, why would you erase the whole thing before you turned it in? That's obstruction of justice. These are open and shut cases. Glenn's emails contain tens of thousands of work-related emails, private messages. She turned over nearly 33,000 business-related emails while retaining and deleting about the same number of messages. Among the emails she did not turn over was a November 2010 email discussing her concerns about the risk of personal being accessible, personal emails. The deposition raised questions about the State Department's practices in responding to government records requests under the U.S. Freedom of Information Act. Again, this is a no-brainer. Someone comes up with a FOIA request for something from the State Department. The State Department looks through the material and turns it over with proper redactions, depending on the sensitivity of the email. That is not illegal. The problem with it is that none of that material was available because it was on a private email server, which had been tampered with. Abedin, a senior aide during Clinton's entire tenure there, testified under oath she never searched or was asked to search for documents in her State Department or her private Clinton email account in response to requests or lawsuits under the Open Records Law. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Who searched through it then? Who had access to all that material? Which member of the Clinton staff went through all that stuff if it wasn't Huma Abedin? A review of all the requests to the State Department during that period found several asking specifically for copies of Abedin's emails on a variety of subjects, including her husband, one-time disgraced representative, Anthony Weiner. Did you ever search? Were you ever asked to search your state.gov email account in response to a FOIA request or FOIA litigation? Abedin answered, I believe I said no. Were you ever asked to search your Clinton email account during your tenure at the State Department in response to a FOIA request or FOIA litigation? No, I was not. That you are answering that question belies the fact that you have committed a crime. You're not supposed to have anything to search on Clinton email. It was not immediately clear how the State Department even could have complied with such legal requests for Abedin's emails without asking Abedin to search her messages. The answer is she could not have done that. Some federal agencies permit full-time FOIA staffers to search the inboxes of senior government officials. Many agencies expect officials to search their own accounts. No U.S. employee, presumably, would have had access to Abedin's personal account or Clinton's private email server. Abedin said she was not aware that anyone else searched her accounts either. Anybody ask Brian Pagliano? He's the guy that set up the server. The Clinton email server, he's the guy that set it up. You know, crazily enough, it's really fantastic. He set up this server. He was the guy that was the guy setting up the server, but strangely never ever sent an email that would ever appear on the server. It's almost like he programmed it so his emails would be immediately kicked out by the server before anybody could see. Oh. But he would have access to the server as did former President Bill Clinton's personal aide, who kept track of that server all the time. You know, it was his job to run that server. Did he have a security clearance suitable for State Department security apparatus, secure messages? Why would President Bill Clinton's personal aide have access to that server? Why would the personal aide of a guy with access to Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Family Foundation, with all kinds of donations from all kinds of heads of state, why would he want to have access to that email server? Why would you suppose all that information would be run by a former president's aide when all those heads of state were using the same system? A top aide to Hillary Clinton said the former Secretary of State's use of a private email server to conduct government business on at least one occasion got in the way of Clinton's work and left the aide frustrated, according to a transcript. Yeah, you think you're frustrated. Huma Abedin, Clinton's deputy chief of staff, now the vice chair of her presidential campaign, was being deposed about the context of a November 2010 email. She sent Clinton they should start talking about putting you on state email or releasing your email address to the department so you're not going to spam. By the way, as I said last week, the Secretary of State sending any email that would go to spam is complete crap. First of all, it's not spam. What's happening is that it's the secure system at state protecting itself from spurious emails and material coming in from the outside. That's not a spam filter. That's a firewall. Oh, it's a spam filter. You know, spam. Clinton responded to the 2010 email exchange that she could get a separate address or a device, but she said she didn't want any risk of personal being accessible. Any request, any risk of personal email being accessible. Abedin replied the missed communications were not a good system. She seemed frustrated because she's not able to do her job, said Abedin, according to the transcript. I seem frustrated back because I'm not. Abedin testified the personal referred to non-government messages Clinton was also exchanging via email systems on the private side. So here's what we've got. Yeah, we don't want any of that personal stuff because it talks about how I arranged to get tickets for the Egyptian foreign ambassador, to go see a Broadway show, Hamilton, I believe, and he put $150 million in the Global Clinton Initiative. Not that that's bribery or anything. This is the Wells Report.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Good health is a series of good decisions. Decisions to eat right, decisions to exercise more, decisions to go to Viascan of Las Colinas and find out regularly what's going on inside your body. Right now, do you have heart plaques or blockages that could be a signal of a heart attack about to happen? Do you have little tiny cancer spots going on that you don't even know about? Well, you ought to know about those. It's called early detection. And Viascan of Las Colinas is your early detection headquarters, saving lives and saving a bunch of money. I'm in there regularly getting my heart checked out, various vital organs. So ask them when you call them at 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840. The heart scan, looking for plaques and blockages. The body scan, looking for cancers. The carotid artery neck scan, looking for stroke risk. The virtual colonoscopy. They do it all at Viascan of Las Colinas. 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
If diets and diet products keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet product you need. You may need Somabiotics, the shockingly effective breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of waste from your body. Right now, you can find out for free how much flatter Somabiotics will make your belly, because they're currently giving away free trials to the public. For yours, call 1-800-500-1179. Strict limit of one per household. Somabiotics is not a diet product. It's scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to cleanse your system, flatten bloated bellies, and combat periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. If diets keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet you need. It may be Somabiotics. Call now for your free trial and see how much flatter it makes your belly. 1-800-500-1179. Hurry, call now for details while they're still giving trials away for free. 1-800-500-1179. That's 1-800-500-1179.
Are you the mom of a 7 to 12-year-old beautiful tween girl? Have you noticed that the world is pressuring your daughter to grow up too fast? Take a deep breath. You're not alone. Created by best-selling author Dana Gresh, the Secret Keeper Girl All-New Purple Party Tour is a live stage event that helps moms teach their girls the secrets of true beauty and biblical modesty. Through live worship, deep Bible teaching, a modesty fashion show, and the famously quirky Truth or Dare modesty test, Secret Keeper Girl reinforces the message every girl needs to hear, that she's a priceless masterpiece created by God. You and your daughter will share special moments that you'll always remember. The Secret Keeper Girl All-New Purple Party Tour. It's the most fun you'll ever have digging into God's Word.
SecretKeeperGirl.com. Part of the Dallas Baptist University Concert Series. September 24th at First Euless. SecretKeeperGirl.com.
Welcome to Staples. Staples guy, I need to get a grip on my company's spending.
Staples has low prices every day.
So I won't overspend?
Nope. With our price match guarantee, you can always get the lowest price on everything for your office.
Everything?
Everything.
The lowest prices on ink, paper, coffee, ink, folders, notepads, ink, sticky notes, ink, trash pads, ink binders, and ink?
Need some ink?
A little bit, yeah.
Trust Staples for low prices every day. Staples. Make more happen. Price match good at checkout for items from retailers operating online and retail stores or products sold and shipped by Amazon. See store or staples.com for details.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
The motto of the Wells Report is truth spoken here. It is a difficult proposition. And the reason that speaking the truth is such a difficult proposition is because the truth is a multifaceted concept. What is truth for me may not necessarily be truth for you. As a side note, that's why you have a clear access to this broadcast, 866-660-5759, and a completely open invitation to disagree with what you hear on this broadcast. because my opinions, what I believe all this information to be, is only one contributor. You contribute the other part. But the truth often is submerged by another incredibly important concept in the United States called legal. There is a difference between what is true and what is legal. And these two concepts are often interchanged by people looking for a margin in which to conceal a crime. The laws surrounding the interaction of a Secretary of State with people around the world, and that communication being available to the National Archives for the purposes of the history of the United States, is unambiguous. If you're the Secretary of State, what you say is foreign policy. It is therefore American history. It is therefore a necessary part of your job to make sure that that information becomes a part of the archives. It's unambiguous. To say that I can keep track of my personal and private and my state email in a non-legal state, and then try to conceal that crime in the fact that, well, it wasn't convenient, or everybody else did it, or no harm was ever, I was sure that everybody was keeping a copy of the emails, when your own aide said, no, I didn't have any copies of those emails. Why? I don't understand. Why wouldn't there be? Well, because somebody walked in there and cleaned them out. Who? Under whose orders? But if you are able to short circuit a logical path toward the truth by virtue of manipulation of law and what is legal, you might be able to keep from going to jail. But at the end of all of it, you still have committed a crime. And we, the people of the United States, know when a crime has been committed. We also know when people who commit that crime have not been held accountable. One of the great things about this nation is that we, the people of the United States, have an ability to dispense accountability all by ourselves through votes of the people in a government of, by, and for the people. The punishment of Hillary Clinton will very likely rest with those voters and the wisdom of the people of the United States. This is the Wells Report. The anticipation is finally giving way to reality. Here it comes, the 2016 Republican Convention in Cleveland. Hi, I'm John David Wells, and Mark Davis and I want to invite you to the final night convention watch party.
JD, there's only one thing more exciting than the last night of the convention, with the acceptance speech, the analysis, the official start of the real campaign, and that's the chance to watch it all with listeners.
This will be just like our debate watching parties at Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. $10 will get you a ticket at 660amtheanswer.com. Come watch the convention's biggest night with your radio friends.
And bring your friends and family. It's live history in the making, so let's enjoy it together. The 2016 Republican Convention Final Night Watch Party, Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. Just $10 for tickets at 660amtheanswer.com.
This event is sponsored by Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and AAA Auger Plumbing Services.
Raise your hand if you think you know what identity theft is. Just kidding. This is a radio commercial. We can't tell if your hand is up. But we can tell you that if you think identity theft is when someone adds charges to your credit card, you're only partially right. Identity theft is when someone pretends to be you, to open new accounts in your name, or any number of other bad things. That's where LifeLock can help. We use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a whole range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, our U.S.-based team of specialists will work to fix it. You'll get more protection with LifeLock than you get from free credit monitoring alone. Obviously, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock is the best identity theft protection available. Join LifeLock right now and get a special 15% discount off your first year. Visit LifeLock.com and use promo code FREEDOM15. That's FREEDOM15 to take advantage of an incredible 15% discount off your first year. Act now. Offer ends July 3rd. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code FREEDOM15. LifeLock.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-550-1388. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-550-1388. That's 1-800-550-1388. 1-800-550-1388.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-700-1331.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs, and it eliminates the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto! Your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Only available by calling 1-800-700-1331. That's 1-800-700-1331.
Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. With the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins, store them where you can actually see them. Free shipping, zero management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% 5-star customer satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. Trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882 now for your free guide to Augusta Gold IRAs. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882. That's 1-855-222-5882 or visit AugustaPreciousMetals.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show.
Mornings 7 to 10
on 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. What time is it? Yeah. Everybody. Robert in Fort Worth, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to point out that the left, with their political correctness, are trying to obscure the truth, and they're trying to revise history. And that's exactly what our Secretary of State was up to.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, well, I believe that there's something a little bit more, shall we say, prurient in what she was doing. I am very, very sure that information, classified and otherwise, was in that server so it could be accessed by other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there was a quid pro quo involved in that access. And that's why there was so much emphasis on keeping a private server. This is not tough, Robert. This is a simple case of someone who is working a grifter game, doing whatever's necessary to be able to keep the game in play.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue here. And there are other issues. And they are routinely talked about on this broadcast. And the reason that they are routinely talked about on this broadcast is because it is so desperately important that we understand how important this is. The President of the United States and his administration are censoring the public record. They are censoring the public record to remove references to forces that have killed in excess of 3,000 people in the United States since 9/11. These people are Muslim terrorists. They operate under Sharia law. And all of these words are being expunged from the public record for the sake of not being able to determine just exactly why it was there was this big hubbub about terrorism during the Obama administration. Nobody can find any records. Well, the reason that we can't find any records is because they're being destroyed, or because they were being hidden by people like Hillary Clinton, who was the Secretary of State during a significant portion of the Obama administration. This is all about rewriting the record book. This is about rewriting history. This is about creating an alternate reality that has very little to do with what actually happened during the age. Why? Presidential vanity? Is that what this is? Is this about ego? Is this about a cover-up? Maybe not necessarily a cover-up of malfeasance in office, as we have said on several different occasions on this broadcast. High crimes and misdemeanors are very, very difficult to find in the Obama administration and the history of that administration, not because they've been hidden, but because they are just barely skirted by the thinnest of all legal margins. And whenever there is an overreach, whenever there is a moment where the Obama administration strays too close to the line or flat breaks it, the salvation of the Obama administration is found in pointing to the word racist and saying, you are one of those, you are a bigot, you are against the president because you hate the color of his skin. And it all goes quiet. Except, of course, all the legal judicial alternatives that are being put in play. There are things that absolutely had to be stopped that this president was doing. But were they done through the process of legislation? Was the president stopped by virtue of the fact that he had an idea of what his own power was? No. They were stopped by the judicial branch to stop the president from doing something he surely knew better about, because his vaunted classes on teaching the Constitution. Really, Mr. President. So that means there's no way for you to hide from the fact that simply you were doing things that were simply in contravention of that document, and you were daring the judicial branch of actually stopping you in the execution of whatever it is that you thought you wanted to do. Period. And so it is with the Secretary of State, following in those very same footsteps. Hiding what probably is nothing more than a simple case of political bribery and corruption. through the use of a private email server that ruptured the lines between the secure services of the State Department email system and the put together whatever you could piece together out of fries on one Sunday afternoon. And yet, there is even something more disturbing in this. We were just talking to a man who said the PC was a way to quell debate and quell honest communication. There are others. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects the press. There will be a free press, necessary to a free state. Got it. But what if the press decides to oppress themselves on behalf of the government? What then? Well, then you have headlines like this. House Benghazi report finds no new evidence of wrongdoing by Hillary Clinton. David M. Herzenhorn is reporting on the Republican report. Interesting, the articles could be interchangeable between the Republican report and the Democrat report given a day earlier, which conveniently expunged the reality over the work that the committee did in a case of trying to muddy the waters so that people didn't realize the 800 pages made excessively long by the fact that Trey Gowdy had to make sure that every T was crossed, every I was dotted. All of this able to be explained away by what turns out to be the stenography service for the Obama administration. That's the mainstream media led by the New York Times. All the news that makes President Obama look far better than he is, that's fit to print. Here's how Herzenhorn starts his article. Ending one of the longest, costliest, and most bitterly partisan congressional investigations in history, the House Select Committee on Benghazi issued its final report on Tuesday, finding no new evidence of culpability or wrongdoing by Hillary Clinton in the 2012 attacks in Libya that left 4 Americans dead. You know, if Hillary was a military officer, she would have been charged and likely found guilty of dereliction of duty. You don't talk about the political implications of a rescue mission for 5 hours before you actually engage in the rescue mission when the attack is going on as you discuss the political implications of doing anything about it. You can dilly and you can dally and you can dither all you want, because if you keep dithering long enough, the problem solves itself. The New York Times has turned itself into a sad relic of what it once was. It's very little more than just a famous logo now. You can't trust what is printed within. You can't. It's beginning to lose its credibility. What is a newspaper that loses its credibility? Well, it's out of business. There's no doubt about the fact that the New York Times is in trouble. Circulation goes down every single year. Every year. Because they refuse to report the truth. They refuse to report the news. The report included perhaps the most exhaustive chronology of the attacks to date, did not dispute the U.S. military forces stationed in Europe could not have reached Benghazi in time to rescue the personnel who died, a central finding of previous inquiries. Still, it issued stinging criticism of the overall delay in response and the lack of preparedness on the part of the government. The assets ultimately deployed by the Defense Department in response to the Benghazi attacks were not positioned to arrive before the final lethal attack. The fact that this is true does not mitigate the question of why the world's most powerful military was not in position to respond. Was not in a position to respond because nobody wanted it to respond. Nobody wanted anybody having anything to do with what Chris Stevens and Sean Smith were there for to be discussed because it was an arms deal. It was an arms deal between the United States government and the supposed moderate rebels of Syria. It had to be. There was no other reason for Chris Stevens to be there. And what ended up happening was the whole thing went south, as things often do. And in the blur and the smoke and the fire and the terror, Glenn Doherty, Tyrone Woods, Sean Smith, and Ambassador Chris Stevens lost their life, while Hillary Clinton and the deputies of the executive departments all got together and talked about the political implications of sending the Marines in, who spent the hours changing from uniform to civilian clothes, to uniform to civilian clothes, to uniform to civilian clothes, to uniform to finally civilian clothes when they were allowed to go home after all the death had been dealt. But no new evidence of wrongdoing. Very interesting in the way they've couched that. No new evidence of wrongdoing. What about the old evidence of wrongdoing? Does that hold any water either? This kind of garbage is going to get us. You're not going to be able to stop it by forcing the press to stop it. You're going to have to stop it by rendering it moot. You have to make it a non-issue that the New York Times has completely surrendered its chase for reality, has lost its credibility. You've got to make that you've got to make that a liability for the people that it's protecting. How do you do that? You hold the people that the New York Times responsible. You hold the people responsible who are being protected by the New York Times. If the New York Times is protecting somebody, vote them out of office. Just as a matter of course. The good news is, of course, is that, and that may be somewhat self-serving, because since conservatives are always bashed in the pages of the New York Times, you would never have any cause to vote them out of office. Well, that's the cost of having absolutely no moral compass, no ethics, no journalism instinct of any kind on the biggest newspaper on the planet. This is the Wells Report.
You have new wood floors and they look gorgeous. That's the good news. The not so good news, they'll eventually have to be cleaned. More good news, there are plenty of wood floor care products to choose from. Bad news, most products will leave a micro layer of residue each time you clean. The really bad news, eventually your wood floor will get dull and hazy almost regardless of which product you clean it with. Now the great news. Dowworth Clean can remove that unsightly buildup from your wood floor, revealing the original finish once again. At Dowworth, we're more than just carpet cleaners. We clean, restore, polish, and protect every type of flooring in your home, including wood, stone, tile, and even concrete. Call 267-8433 today and ask about a complete flooring makeover for your home. Find out why for over 39 years we've been saying,
because the next best thing to do is Dowworth Clean.
Are you being denied credit? Are you paying high interest rates?
At creditrepair.com, we know life happens. Divorce, medical bills, student loans, and many other reasons why credit scores fall. That's why at creditrepair.com, we're committed to helping folks get the second chance they deserve to improve their credit.
CreditRepair.com is actually acting as an advocate for me. Things that I thought when you paid them off, they were still on there. Things that I didn't even know were on there were on there, but they got them removed. I feel they're doing what they said they'd do and beyond. I'm not going to abuse this second chance that they gave me. I'm in the process now of buying a home. CreditRepair.com actually does work.
We can help you get a second chance at great credit. The consultation is free and includes a free credit score and summary credit report. We'll review your current credit situation right on the phone with a game plan to restore it. Call 800-231-1735. That's 800-231-1735. Again, 800-231-1735. 800-231-1735.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-1904. That's 1-800-900-1904. 1-800-900-1904.
If diets and diet products keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet product you need. You may need Somabiotics, the shockingly effective breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of waste from your body. Right now, you can find out for free how much flatter Somabiotics will make your belly, because they're currently giving away free trials to the public. For yours, call 1-800-500-1179. Strict limit of 1 per household. Somabiotics is not a diet product. It's scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to cleanse your system, flatten bloated bellies, and combat periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. If diets keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet you need. It may be Somabiotics. Call now for your free trial and see how much flatter it makes your belly. 1-800-500-1179. Hurry, call now for details while they're still giving trials away for free. 1-800-500-1179. That's 1-800-500-1179.
It's been called the greatest libertarian show on earth, attended by Donald Trump, Steve Forbes, Glenn Beck, and the most brilliant conservative minds today. It's Freedom Fest, July 13th through the 16th at the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. This year, come hear Senator Rand Paul, author George Gilder, Judge Andrew Napolitano, and more. And don't miss your chance to win $25,000 in prizes organized by Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington. Register now at freedomfest.com and save $100 by using the code SALEM, all caps, at freedomfest.com.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touch thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. John David Wells at your service. By the way, at the same time, then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was storing emails on her personal server in violation of the law. Her department twice received a prestigious award for its record-keeping practices, an honor that in retrospect has watchdogs scratching their heads. The National Archives and Records Administration gave the so-called Archivist Award to the State Department in 2010 and again in September 2012, toward the end of Clinton's tenure. During the 2012 ceremony, NARA Chief Records Officer Paul Wester described the honor, who also bestowed on the Treasury Department as prestigious. How did the Department of State merit such recognition? According to NARA spokesman John Valciano, The ward was specifically focused on its work related to the management of inactive paper records stored in the Department Record Center of the State Department. In other words, the piles of paper were very, very neat. They were well classified and they were kept. And you know why? Because nobody had ever generated a paper record for nearly anything for 5 or 10 years, and they had people that were specifically custodians of all that paper. Let's put it this way. If you have 5 or 10 years to be able to keep working over a record pile made of paper, boy, those stacks of paper are going to be straight as strings, buddy. Look at those margins. They're perfect. 3 inches apart every stack. Thank you for the award. I'd like to thank the Academy and everybody who made this possible for me, my agent, the William Morris Agency, and this is the Wells Report.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's
John
get it
David.
now.
Do a promo. There you go. Enjoy.
Wait,
You didn't think we'd install it for that.
Okay, for the people watching on television, it's promo time, and off we go. What? Yes, sir. Yeah. I did not have sex with a pile of paper under any circumstances. I did not have sexual relations with any pile of paper during my administration.
It just gives me the creeps to even hear that because I was literally in the White House a few hours ago. Now I'm back in Dallas. Creepy to hear that there could have been a guy having sex feet from where I was.
Yes. Feet. Yeah. Yep.
You're John David Wells.
I am fine, Tom. Are you listening to the broadcast?
I am. I just got in my car and I'm heading home listening to, of course, the all-new Wells Report.
Many people have thought that I have done a very good job tonight. They said I was on fire. Really, what happened was I accidentally spilled an entire jar of Tabasco down my pants.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. All right. Was there? I'm having a great show. It really was actually very good. I have to do a promo now, or my executive producer and my technical director are going to thrash me.
All right, tell her I said hello.
I will. Hasta la vista, baby. Okay, here we go. Following in the footsteps of the IRS is the Federal Election Commission. Why do I say... We should make a movie out of what you just did. You know what we'll call it? We'll call it Old Yeller. Following in the footsteps of the Federal Election Commission, following in the footsteps of the IRS is now the Federal Election Commission. The IRS, as you know, quashed political opposition by denying 501c3s to conservative groups. What is the Federal Election Commission wanting to do? For the first time in their history, they voted to punish Fox News they voted to punish Fox News for their debate sponsorship, saying that it would aid the party involved. Now, what does this mean? This means that our federal government is dangerously out of control, and we'll discuss it next time on the Wells Report. Let me try it again. You like that one? You don't want me to do it again? Are you going to save that one? Okay. Following in the footsteps of the IRS, you know, the agency responsible for quelling political speech, with 501c3s being denied to conservative political groups, comes the Federal Election Commission. What are they doing? They voted in secret to punish Fox News and their sponsorship of a Republican presidential debate, using an obscure law to charge the network with helping those on the stage. It's ridiculous, it's foolish, and it is a prime example of Obama administration politics. We discuss it next time on the Wells Report.
The answer.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts.
Make sure your legs look and feel is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
As a listener of the financial diva Victoria Woods on this station, you know that she only makes two statements about the market with absolute certainty. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. Volatility is part of investing, and if that's a roller coaster ride you're just not interested in taking anymore, it's time to consider protecting a minimum of 25% of your hard-earned retirement dollars. Call 888-838-3482 today. If you're 10 to 15 years from retirement, having the right balance of protection and growth in your retirement portfolio is one way to rest easy when the market is doing cartwheels. Call Chapelwood Financial Services at 888-838-3482 to discover how you can have that balanced plan. Protection of a portion of your assets is the foundation of your retirement plan. Don't lose another minute of sleep worrying about the next market correction. Contact Chapelwood Financial at 888-838-3482 or email office@chapelwood.com. That's 2 P's and 1 L to ask how you can protect your money today. That's 888-838-3482.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I'll bet you've heard a lot about the money you can save leasing a car versus buying. Well, now there's a way to save even more. Brass Hat Leasing. In car lingo, a brass hat vehicle is a program car, factory demo, extremely low miles, very near showroom condition. Go to brasshatleasing.com. Shop through the inventory, see and drive the car you want at their location near DFW Airport, or just order and take delivery. Brass Hat Leasing, with a wide selection of makes and models, featuring leases and even sales, if you like, of these next new vehicles, giving you a huge savings opportunity. In fact, here's the Brass Hat Leasing deal of the day.
2016 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Outdoorsman 4x4, $999 down plus TT&L, 15,000 miles per year. Original MSRP $47,220. 36 monthlies only for $388 per month. So much truck for less than $400 per month. See it at brasshatleasing.com.
So close to new, yet so much more affordable. brasshatleasing.com. 855-998-2202. 855-998-2202 or brasshatleasing.com.
After a rough day on the range, a fella can get a bit saddle sore. That's why I use Blue Emu Original Super Strength Cream. It works fast and penetrates deep to soothe my tired muscles and joints.
And he don't stink.
And I'll tell you one thing, I had no idea this stuff was so darn handy.
Blue Emu Original Super Strength Cream, available at all major retailers. It works fast for long-lasting soothing of tired muscles and joints.
And you won't stink.
Coming to Dallas Sunday night, August 21st. Outcry Summer 2016 Tour, featuring the songs and the sound of Hillsong worship. Plus Carrie Jove. Featuring Rend Collective, Elevation Worship, and Urban Rescue.
Part of the Dallas Baptist University concert series.
An unforgettable night of worship.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. Always welcome. You are always welcome. The Supreme Court of the United States was impaneled to be able to determine the constitutionality of any given law or application of law in the United States. It was called the Supreme Court because it was essentially to be the last word. It is a very prestigious posting. The people who are Supreme Court justices are employed for as long as they want the job and supported for life by the federal government to the tune of several $100,000 a year. They are theoretically non-political. However, the Supreme Court of the United States has, for whatever reason, in the past several years, shown political decision-making over judicial decision-making. Those jurists who are most closely aligned with the Constitution, including the late Antonin Scalia, find themselves routinely explaining that the court is malfunctioning. And they don't use the P word, political, but they should. We, the people of the United States, all the people of the United States, Democrats, liberals, conservatives, Republicans alike, can ill afford a court operating in a fashion that is most likely more closely resembling kabuki theater than actual constitutional decision-making. To that end, should they not stop, what will very likely happen is that sometime in our lifetimes, we will see Supreme Court justices being elected during presidential elections. I would suspect they would even have a term limitation, that there would be somewhere along the lines of, let's see, since there are 9, you would have to work it out so that 3 would be reelected every presidential election. Or you could leave the Chief Justice in place for a separate term, et cetera, et cetera. But at some point, we're going to go ahead and just transmute the Supreme Court from this supposedly apolitical group into a group that practices politics, but at least is honest about it. But at the end of all of it, the Supreme Court is the Supreme Court. They have the last word, except typically in the case of the Obama administration, in which case a Supreme Court decision is simply not enough. You have to have more. What? The Obama administration is looking into whether it can challenge the Supreme Court's decision to block President Obama's plan to spare millions of illegal immigrants from deportation. This from the Lord High Exalted President and Surveyor, indeed owner of all she surveys, Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Apparently, she is reviewing the case, and seeing what, if anything else, we need to do in court. The Supreme Court has ruled on your case. I doubt very sincerely that they'd be willing to re-adjudicate the case because they've already done that, which means that that part that I said about presidential vanity and ego earlier, completely and totally undamaged as we speak. The ego and vanity of the Obama administration is approaching near cataclysmic levels of unjustified hubris. Lynch did not say what legal options the Obama administration may pursue. What are they going to do? Take it to the premium court? I mean, wait a minute, Supreme is premium. What's above Supreme? Ultra double sure double quick magnificence? What is it? Majestic interlude. We're going to challenge the Supreme Court's findings in the court of majestic interlude. Is that what we're going to do? What the hell is going on? We've got to see if there's something else we can do. No, there's really nothing else you can do. She said any future executive actions President Obama may take on immigration would be left to the White House. Good statement. In a wide-ranging interview on topics from gun control to the effect of the planned exit of Britain from the European Union, according to this Reuters article written by Julia Edwards in Phoenix, Lynch identified espionage from foreign nationals on U.S. companies as a tremendous problem. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has reported a 53% increase in cases of economic espionage between 2014 and 2015, and the majority of these cases involve Chinese nationals as culprits. Most recently, Zhu Jiaquang. No, I didn't make up his name. Zhu Jiaquang, 30 years old, was charged with economic espionage and theft of trade secrets for stealing software source code from his U.S. employer with the intent of benefiting the Chinese government. It is a matter of priority for us, said Lynch. When companies or industries are preyed upon by others, be they individuals, be they state actors who literally steal the fruit of intellectual labor, essentially they are stealing from future generations. Yeah. Asked to comment on the impact of Britain's decisions at a referendum last week to leave the European Union, Lynch said the law enforcement relationships between the U.S. and both Britain and the European Union would remain strong. We have a very strong and positive relationship with law enforcement in the United Kingdom, and as of now, I do not see that changing in respect to the United Kingdom or the European Union. Great. Ask about changes that would be made in the wake of the mass shooting in Orlando. Lynch did not say if the Justice Department or the Obama administration was working on more executive actions on gun control, but would continue research on smart gun technology. This is where you have to ask your weapon to fire itself. You don't get to just pick it up and shoot it. You have to negotiate. Hi, can I use you now? I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. No, really. There's a guy. Do you have it? You don't have it? No, really, Hal. We need to shoot the intruder. He's just broken into our house with a machete, and he's chopped up the neighbor's chihuahua into bite-sized morsels. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Hal, listen, I bought you for a reason. I wanted you in my house so that I could be safe. This is an opportunity for me to save myself from a machete-wielding Chihuahua killer. He's coming to me as if he wants to chop off one or more of my arms. Well, then you'll have a problem with arms control, won't you, Dave? Yes, because I'll be standing there and my arms will be over there. I will have no way of arms control. I don't think that smart gun technology is a great idea. So I hope that she freaking just puts it down and stops. A smart gun, by the way, is one that can only be fired by the authorized user, often by requiring a palm print in order to prevent gun theft or accidental shootings. It's going to be a longer-term project. One of the things we want to make sure of is that people who do own guns lawfully have a way to make sure their family members are safe in the house with them. I know. Train them how to be safe in the house with them. How about that? No, that's not a safe enough solution. You see, we won't rest until we have weapons in people's houses that don't shoot all the time. Really? Right. We're going to have weapons that will only shoot under certain circumstances when they're held by the correct person. Well, I know what that means to me. What does that mean? It means I got to get my 9-year-old a Walther PPK so that he can have his own weapon that shoots too. No, it's not the point. Lynch said the Justice Department is looking to see if the federal government can move smart gun research forward, including technology that can be used by the military. As if the world's greatest military needed anything else to help them. It is the stupidest thing in the history of stupid things. Lynch also said it was important for the Justice Department to look at the individuals in the ongoing criminal investigation into the Volkswagen's emissions scandal. You know, those were the Volkswagens that knew when they were being tested for smog and would run in an alternate way so that they would pass a smog test, but then run in a way that would provide more power and more capability on the roads, but not pass a smog test. Very, very clever. Very clever. So the point of all of this is that the Supreme Court just wasn't good enough for the Department of Justice. The DOJ says, we're going to go back and we're going to look at that to see if there's something else we can do. You know, I've never actually seen a Supreme Court justice using a gavel, but I can imagine that whoever it is that brings that new case to the Supreme Court will likely have a gavel print right in the middle of their forehead. Take this case and leave my courtroom. Those would be the words that someone would say. That's what I would think. I mean, the gall. I mean, seriously, the gall. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Back with more in just a moment.
Having financial independence and wealth empowerment is the American dream. Host Dave and Laura Lorenz will help you learn what the wealthy already know, how to get strong returns and never lose your principal. That's the Heroes Talk Radio way. You'll also learn about the secrets to planning a tax-free retirement income. So tune in to Heroes Talk Radio every Sunday at 5 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
The anticipation is finally giving way to reality. Here it comes, the 2016 Republican Convention in Cleveland. Hi, I'm John David Wells, and Mark Davis and I want to invite you to the final night convention watch party.
JD, there's only one thing more exciting than the last night of the convention with the acceptance speech, the analysis, the official start of the real campaign, and that's the chance to watch it all with listeners.
This will be just like our debate watching parties at Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. $10 will get you a ticket at 660amtheanswer.com. Come watch the convention's biggest night with your radio friends.
And bring your friends and family. It's live history in the making, so let's enjoy it together. The 2016 Republican Convention Final Night Watch Party, Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. Just $10 for tickets at 660amtheanswer.com.
This event is sponsored by Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and AAA Auger Plumbing Services.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. With the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins, store them where you can actually see them. Free shipping, zero management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% 5-star customer satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. Trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882 now for your free guide to Augusta Gold IRAs. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882. That's 1-855-222-5882 or visit AugustaPreciousMetals.com.
Welcome back, summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in the Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it. AmericanStandardAir.com.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
Did you pay a lot for that top-of-the-line mattress and it's already breaking down? Time to go to Savin. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. The Savin bed is made with certified organic mattress covers and 100% natural latex foam cushioning, not polyurethane or memory foam. It's more comfortable too, custom tailored for individualized comfort based on your size and sleeping position. Why buy a Savin? Why even consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake, go to savin.com.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
So Peggy Noonan is someone who's, well, she's a columnist in the Wall Street Journal. She's a nice human being. She calls it the way she sees it. Okay. And she came up with this. She said that Donald Trump is no Ronald Reagan. Really? His supporters ought to stop saying he is, which comes off as desperate and historically illiterate. It was at a dinner a month ago in a Manhattan restaurant. Old friends who lived far apart had come together for a leisurely spring night, but it turned into a testy fast. It turned testy fast. I note here the style of anti-Trumpers is often high-handed and manipulated, while the style of pro-Trumpers can be brutalist and patronizing. One couple of my old friends had been for Marco Rubio and then John Kasich and were now enthusiastic for Donald Trump. Last year they didn't like him, but now they thought, wait, he's the donkey we need to kick over the barn. There was another couple, intellectuals, also pro-Trump, but from early on with a certain edge. The lady of that couple, disliking recent criticism of Mr. Trump in these columns, was not jolly, but defensive. She leaned in and said, what I didn't understand was that Donald Trump is Ronald Reagan, an outsider disliked by the elites, looked down on a TV star, yet he became Reagan. And then Peggy Noonan lost it. She said, I hear this a lot, mostly from idiots, but this time I engaged. Why? Because she hated everyone at the table and said, what have I got to lose? Look, Mr. Trump is not Ronald Reagan. Reagan served 2 full terms as the governor of a state so vast that if it were a country, it would have been one of the most important economies in the world. He was a union president who served 7 terms during the most fraught time in Hollywood history and emerged respected by all sides. He was no novice. He was the leader of an entire political movement, however nascent, for more than a decade before taking the White House. Yes, he had been an entertainer, an actor, and loved it, and seen himself as an artist. And it is true, he was looked down upon by his liberal elites. But it is not true that nobody respected him. The people elected him in landslides. She moved her mouth in a way that people do when they're reminding themselves it isn't polite to bite people at restaurants. Reagan wasn't in 1980. That is, Reagan wasn't Reagan in 1980. That's exactly who he was. No, she replied, he hadn't had his triumphs yet. People didn't know he would go on to be who he was. I said they knew what he was based on history and previous accomplishments, which is why they felt free to make him president, which is, as she says in the article, we went round and round and in the end resolved nothing. That's because you were fighting the wrong fight. The point is this. Donald Trump is not Ronald Reagan. Donald Trump is Donald Trump. Ronald Reagan was a guy who knew his way around communication and politics and power, and he was very comfortable in all of those. Donald Trump is comfortable in some of those. Donald Trump will have difficulty. But Donald Trump, for all of his failures and all of his failings, is not a leftist progressive, high-handed, hubris-filled, arrogant, anti-American Democrat thug. And that is exactly what Hillary Clinton is. If you look at the very essence of what Hillary Clinton talks about, you will see someone who attacks the Bill of Rights on a daily basis. It's because she doesn't want you to have any power, any rights. She wants all of that for herself. So whatever you say and whatever you argue against Donald Trump, remember, the yawning abyss of progressive totalitarianism is right around the corner. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, co-owner of Statewide Remodeling. It's getting to be summer, and the days are getting to be hotter, and your electric bill is getting higher. If you can stand in front of any window in your home with the sun shining through and feel any heat, you have a problem that's costing you money every day. We can fix that problem for you with new restoration windows from Statewide Remodeling. Have you ever noticed that most of the other window companies you hear on the radio are talking about everything but their warranty? They want to brag about how long they've been in business or how low their prices are. I have to tell you that none of that means anything without a strong written warranty to back up the product. We've been installing windows in Texas for over 20 years and the only company with a written workmanship warranty for as long as you own your home. We also offer a satisfaction guarantee or your money back. So if you're ready to get straight talk about replacement windows, give us a call. And if you call now for a free estimate, you'll get up to $2,000 off your whole project. The estimate and window evaluation is free. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095 or anytime online at statewide-remodeling.com.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP. And right now, you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-300-0338. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day at-home trial. 1-800-300-0338. That's 1-800-300-0338.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. In half an hour, we worked out a plan. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. Call 1-800-990-6976.
As a listener of the financial diva Victoria Woods on this station, you know that she only makes two statements about the market with absolute certainty. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. Volatility is part of investing, and if that's a roller coaster ride you're just not interested in taking anymore, it's time to consider protecting a minimum of 25% of your hard-earned retirement dollars. Call 888-838-3482 today. If you're 10 to 15 years from retirement, having the right balance of protection and growth in your retirement portfolio is one way to rest easy when the market is doing cartwheels. Call Chapelwood Financial Services at 888-838-3482 to discover how you can have that balanced plan. Protection of a portion of your assets is the foundation of your retirement plan. Don't lose another minute of sleep worrying about the next market correction. Contact Chapelwood Financial at 888-838-3482 or email office@chapelwood.com. That's 2 P's and 1 L to ask how you can protect your money today. That's 888-838-3482.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with one of your prime summer needs, a good carpet cleaning. Summer is a busy time, so call Zero Res. Call them often. It's a $33 per room carpet cleaning special, 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN. They'll do the carpets. While they're there, let them do hardwood floors, granite countertops, drapes, upholstery. When they're done cleaning whatever you want, 2 free passes to any of the 5 DFW Hawaiian Falls water parks. It's Zero Res, the best carpet cleaning, and so much more. I use them. You should too. 214-37-CLEAN.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. If you know a veteran who deserves this honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a gift card from Crossroads Diner, a $100 gift card from the Crazy Gun Dealer, and an award from Starkey Mortgage. Plus, come up to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Starkey Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2146. This is not a commitment to lend. Specific underwriting guidelines must be met.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I was talking to someone, I think it was a couple of nights ago. Did we not have somebody on the phone that was being extremely, shall we say, disrespectful is too strong a word for Clarence Thomas. What it was saying was basically was that Clarence Thomas was Antonin Scalia's lapdog. Well, not so much. Clarence Thomas is a man who, if he had been where he was in the 60s, would have been venerated as one of the great jurists of all time. Just as Thurgood Marshall would have been, and was, in fact. But he had the ill fortune, if you will, to become a Supreme Court justice in an age where no one who is conservative and who is someone who perceives a Republican life as being the proper one could be a member of his own minority, both in the press and in the hearts and minds of the minority from which he came from, or from which he came. I have been very fascinated with what happened to Clarence Thomas after Antonin Scalia left the court. Because what has happened is that many people were shocked when Clarence Thomas cleared his throat, sat up straight, and started asking questions. Clarence Thomas never asked questions. Clarence Thomas brought the sum total of his incredible intellectual gifts to bear on paper in well-reasoned, well-written, well-considered opinions of law. And there's one thing about his opinions, they are, to me at least, Clarence Thomas's opinions are, they're very human. They're not informal, but they are very human, and they're very straightforward, and you can tell that there's a human being behind them. The Federalist put up a list of the 8 best quotes from Clarence Thomas and the Texas abortion dissent. The name of the court's case was Whole Woman's Health versus Hellerstedt. And in that particular case, it was seen as, by the Federalist at least, that the majority opinion, the justices who ruled in favor of the abortion advocates in the Whole Woman's Health versus Hellerstedt ruling, argued that Texas's laws were in contention with a 1992 Supreme Court ruling, Casey, in which the court had determined that laws restricting abortions must not place an undue burden on a woman seeking to terminate her pregnancy. Thomas wrote a dissenting opinion, ripping the court's tendency to bend over backwards to accommodate abortion. In his opinion, here are the 8 top moves that he made. Today's opinion does resemble Casey in one respect. After disregarding significant aspects of the court's prior jurisprudence, the majority applies the undue burden standard in a way that will surely mystify lower courts for years to come. Yes, it will. In other words, and he gets into it. I won't blow the surprise. Moreover, by second-guessing medical evidence and making its own assessments of quality of care issues, the majority reappoints this court as the country's ex officio medical board with powers to disapprove medical and operative practices and standards throughout the United States. And the majority seriously burdens states, which must guess at how much more compelling their interests must be to pass muster and what's common sense inferences of an undue burden this court will identify next. What he's saying with this is that the court turned itself into the entire United States Medical Board. They are able to determine whether a state is using the correct medical procedures or not. That is a horrifically bad precedent. And that is exactly what happened here. He goes on to say, the majority burdens states which now have to guess when they write their laws how they are going to do in the Supreme Court of the United States. That's a bad way to write law. The only thing to do is to stay away from the entire issue entirely, which is a mistake. We have suffered since 1973 with a national migraine headache that this court gave us in Roe v. Wade. Nowhere in the Constitution of the United States is any right ever present to terminate a pregnancy in any way, shape, or form. To find that right is nothing more than judicial legerdemain. It's ridiculous. At some point, we are going to have to face the fact that what this country needs to solve this problem has nothing to do with this problem. It has to do with determining when life begins. There are those who argue that life begins at conception. I make that is a very, very hard and absolutely inflexible ideology. Is it right or is it wrong? I have my opinions. But my opinions are not about law. Law is not even about my morality. Law is about what is right from a legal standpoint. What is easily captured in a legal context. And that's what we have to do here. We have to approach this in a way to determine when life begins. Once that happens, all of this solves itself. And that is the relief after unrelenting pain that I crave. I wonder if I'll live to see the day. The 8 things that Clarence Thomas said when it came to this Texas abortion law. As the court applies whatever standard it likes to any given case, nothing but empty words separates our constitutional decisions from judicial fiat. That one actually, I had shivers run up and down my spine when he said that. Considering the abuses of judicial fiat in the past. The legitimacy of using made-up tests to displace long-standing national traditions as the primary determinant in what the Constitution means has long been apparent. The Constitution does not prescribe tiers of scrutiny. The 3 basic tiers, rational basis, intermediate, and strict scrutiny, are no more scientific than their names suggest. And a further element of randomness is added by the fact that it's largely up to us which test will be applied in each case. But the problem now goes beyond that. If our recent case illustrates anything, it is how easily the court tinkers with the level of scrutiny to achieve its desired result. Likewise, it is now easier for the government to restrict judicial candidates' campaign speech than for the government to define marriage. Even though the former is subject to strict scrutiny, the latter was supposedly subject to some form of rational basis review. What an ironic statement here. The absolute gulf between the two intellectual concepts. The court has simultaneously transformed judicially created rights, like the right to an abortion, into preferred constitutional rights, while disfavoring many of the rights actually enumerated in the Constitution. But our Constitution renounces the notion that some constitutional rights are more equal than others. A plaintiff either possesses the constitutional right he is asserting or not. And if not, the judiciary has no business creating ad hoc exceptions so others can assert rights that seem especially important to vindicate. A law either infringes a constitutional right or not. There is no room for the judiciary to invent tolerable degrees of encroachment. The gray area. Legality is black and white. If it's, well, we can put a little gray in here. we have a little bit of wiggle room. We can be almost right. We can be almost wrong. But we can't be either right or wrong. In other words, we have to come up with degrees of law. Not law degrees, but degrees of law. Our law is now so riddled with special exceptions for special rights that our decisions deliver neither predictability or the promise of a judiciary bound by the rule of law. Absolutely true. If I go to the court in some kind of matter, I will not be adjudicated as the same as an African American going to the court under the exact same circumstances. The real chance lies, because there is no judiciary bound by rule of law, the real problem lies in the fact that one of us will be the victims of unequal law enforcement, unequal judiciary treatment, simply because of the color of our skin, which is what triggered remedies that led us to this sad space in the first place. Today's decision will prompt some to claim victory, just as it will stiffen opponents to object. But the entire nation has lost something essential. The majority's embrace of a jurisprudence of rights-specific exceptions and balancing tests is a regrettable concession of defeat, an acknowledgement that we have passed the point where law, properly speaking, has any further application. Wow. We find ourselves in a world that this explains everything you need to know about today's Supreme Court. It is not something that actually looks at a particular law through a constitutional lens. It now looks at any particular given law through the lens of the aggrieved minority, the lens of the supposed downtrodden and now judiciary privilege. Social justice is nothing more than an ironic, mocking sneer, as bad as get-evenism, if you will. When is even enough? Many would say approximately never. And so what do? Those who vainly chase egalitarianism in all possible aspects of all possible lives do just the opposite to achieve their goals. They endow others with special rights. They endow the aggrieved with special privileges, not available to those who do not suffer or have not perceived to have suffered. The envyism of America's judicial branch is damaging it beyond repair if it continues. 8 best quotes from Clarence Thomas over the Texas abortion dissent? No. Those are the 8 best explanations for just exactly why the Supreme Court of the United States has turned into but a capricious and arbitrary shadow of its former self. Those of us who could depend on a reasoned and American outcome from the Supreme Court now must wait with bated breath and trembling hands, wondering how they're going to screw up the next case. This is the Wells Report.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement. A plan that'll take you from where you are now to the retirement that you've always dreamed about. The first step on that path is to tune into the Wealth Smart Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. You only get to retire once, so it's really important you do it right. And your host, Reed Johnson, president of Lake Point Advisory Group, helps people retire successfully every day. So don't miss Wealth Smart every Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-550-1388. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-550-1388. That's 1-800-550-1388. 1-800-550-1388.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Compassion Roofing and Remodeling. I've spent some time telling you these are the folks to call if you ever have storm damage to the roof or anywhere else in the house. But Compassion Roofing and Remodeling also wants to be your choice for any projects you've been dreaming of around the home. Here's owner and president Corey McLaughlin.
If someone's going to live in a house for a long time, it's important that they get what they want instead of living with what they have. So we use only the best and highest quality skilled labor and materials, and there's really not much that we can't handle. I used to build custom houses for a living, and from the ground up, we can help them.
The skill they bring to making your home right after storm damage is the same skill they bring to any project you may ever want. They have the best quality, the best workmanship. Everybody needs a little compassion. Call my friends at Compassion Roofing, 855-ROOF-107. That's 855-ROOF-107, CompassionRoofing.com. When you need the job done right, CompassionRoofing.com. Hey, it's Mark Davis. I'll bet you've heard a lot about the money you can save leasing a car versus buying. Well, now there's a way to save even more. Brass Hat Leasing. In car lingo, a brass hat vehicle is a program car, factory demo, extremely low miles, very near showroom condition. Go to BrassHatLeasing.com. Shop through the inventory, see and drive the car you want at their location near DFW Airport, or just order and take delivery. Brass Hat Leasing, with a wide selection of makes and models featuring leases and even sales, if you like, of these next new vehicles, giving you a huge savings opportunity. In fact, here's the Brass Hat Leasing deal of the day.
2016 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Outdoorsman 4x4, $999 down plus TT&L, 15,000 miles per year. Original MSRP $47,220. 36 monthlies only for $388 per month. So much truck for less than $400 per month. See it at BrassHatLeasing.com.
So close to new, yet so much more affordable. BrassHatLeasing.com. 855-998-2202. 855-998-2202 or BrassHatLeasing.com.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. That's 1-800-700-1134. 1-800-700-1134.
Eric Nadel here for Savin European Sleep Systems. Why should your next mattress be a Savin organic mattress? It's more durable, no sags, no body impressions. It's more comfortable, a personalized fit for greater individualized comfort, and it's free of harmful chemicals. Designed for deeper, more restful sleep. I should know. I've slept on a Savin mattress for almost a decade. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Go to Savin.com.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I have to tell you, I was wrong. I was wrong. It doesn't happen very often, but doggone it, I was wrong. I said that when the Brexit happened, when people were leaving the European Union and Britain, that it would take a couple of weeks for the markets to figure out what they were going to do. I was wrong. It took 2 days. Yeah, it took 2 days. You know, the Dow Jones Industrial Average bumped up 270 points. All these people that were saying, my gosh, there's doom and gloom and so on, showed their cards to you, especially on the campaign trail. They showed their cards to you. The only person that didn't panic in all of that was, of course, Donald Trump. Stupid statements like Hillary Clinton saying, don't worry about this Brexit mess in the markets. Don't worry about what this is doing to the markets. Losing $100 million in our 401ks. We're going to bounce back. Yeah, well, the dollar got stronger and the economy got better and so on and so forth. But we'll bounce back if Hillary's the president. She'll be sure to destroy that for us. 270 points up on the Dow Jones. Don't worry so much about your money. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name's John David Wells. Thank you very much for joining us. See you tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
If you've ever wondered what it would feel like to experience the magnificent beauty of the Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, and the beauty of the Greek island of Santorini, all while sailing pristine waters on a 5-star cruise ship, your opportunity now awaits to discover for yourself cities of antiquity and the origins of culture and faith. A journey with meaning awaits you this fall on the footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise, September 22nd through October 9th. For more information and to register, visit 660amtheanswer.com.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet, Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Learn more at goodfeetdfw.com. Learn about arch supports that actually work. Good Feet is America's #1 arch support for over 20 years, and they've got arch supports designed to get people out of pain wearing all kinds of shoes, athletic shoes, casual shoes, dress shoes, men, women, flip-flops. Come on, they're discreet supports that won't be noticed in your fanciest open-style shoes. They're designed to make all shoes more comfortable for the ladies and the gentlemen. Get you out of pain today. That's what they do at Good Feet. Visit the website at goodfeetdfw.com. Set up an appointment today. Visit one of the stores, Southlake, Plano, Fort Worth. They'll follow up with you, make sure everything's going exactly right to get you out of pain, walking, working, vacationing the way you want. goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com. They are in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, and always there for you online to answer all your questions at goodfeetdfw.com. Get out of pain today. America's #1 arch support, goodfeetdfw.com.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, write in a book all the words I've spoken to you. Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touch thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Congress approves a financial rescue package for Puerto Rico. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the measure won't cost taxpayers a dime.
What it will do is help Puerto Rico restructure its financial obligations and provide much needed oversight to put in place needed reform.
The island was due to make a $2 billion payment to creditors on Friday. Turkish officials believe ISIS is behind Tuesday's attack at the Istanbul airport. CIA Director John Brennan says the attack has the hallmarks of the terror group and the fight against ISIS is far from over.
We still have a ways to go before we're able to say that we have made some significant progress against them.
The airport attack killed 42 and injured more than 200. A grizzly bear has killed a man in the Flathead National Forest just outside Glacier National Park in Montana. It happened Wednesday about a mile from a campground. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You're listening to 660 AM, The Answer.
If you've ever wondered what it would be like to experience the magnificent beauty of the Sistine Chapel, the historic